Violent crime is down under the Biden Harris administration. That's just a fact. It's supported by all the data, all the evidence. Still, that isn't stopping the so called Law and Order Party, who has a convicted felon for a nominee. Doesn't stop them from fear mongering, doesn't stop them from race baiting. It works for them. I get why Republicans do it. Republicans every single time say, if you pick this person, your life gets worse, your life gets scarier, your neighborhoods get more criminal, your car is more likely to get stolen, your house is more likely to be broken into. They frame the Democratic Party and all liberals and all progressives and all radicals as people who love violence. If you're a non-Democrat Green Party member, they think you're just crazier and willing to allow any kind of crime. If you're an abolitionist, they think you're going to try to set the world on fire. If you are a mainstream Democrat, they think that you are still going to create a world of chaos. How many times have you heard a Republican say, and look at their cities, Baltimore, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit? These are all racial codes as well, designed to make you think that that under Democratic leadership, too many black people are going to be taking over and doing bad things. And don't let the leaders actually be black, like in Baltimore or Chicago or Detroit. They doubled down on it. How many times have you heard the name Obama in Chicago? You would think Obama had been mayor of Chicago, how much they tried to connect those two things. And if you're old enough to remember the elections from the 80s, think about 1988, the 1988 presidential election, when George H.W. Bush was running against Mike Dukakis or Michael Dukakis. They ran an ad. It's called the Willie Horton ad. It's from the George Bush campaign. If you're old enough to remember, you know what I'm talking about. The ad basically exploited a horrible tragedy for political gain, but it did something else. It stoked racism and fear in America. Take a look.
Bush and Dukakis on crime. Bush supports the death penalty for first-degree murderers. Dukakis not only opposes the death penalty, he allowed first-degree murderers to have weekend passes from prison. One was Willie Horton, who murdered a boy in a robbery, stabbing him 19 times. Despite a life sentence, Horton received 10 weekend passes from prison. Horton fled, kidnapped a young couple, stabbing the man and repeatedly raping his girlfriend. Weekend prison passes. Dukakis on crime.
That ad did Mike Dukakis in. Mike Dukakis was a strong governor, a powerful leader, and probably would have been an effective president. I mean, as effective as any U.S. president is, and certainly would have been better for America than George H.W. Bush. Maybe we wouldn't have been in a Persian Gulf War, but that's not the point. The point is they used the fear of Willie Horton to make sure that Mike Dukakis would not be elected. They made you think that if Mike Dukakis was elected, that there were going to be a bunch of Negroes running out of jail, hide your wife, hide your girlfriends, hide your kids. That was the narrative, that he was dangerous. And they would put up these ads of Willie looking menacing, and they'd make the picture darker, and we'd photocopy. Back then we had them laser printers like that. So we would be making the photocopies darker and darker. And before you know it, Willie looked dangerous and scary, playing on all the white supremacist tropes about black people. They make you feel that if a Democrat runs things, Negroes are going to go wild. And now we're in the digital age. Republicans and Donald Trump in particular, they're still running attack ads, but now they got a new audience, a whole new audience on social media that does the same stuff, but just in a different packaging. This time, though, it wasn't just the dog whistles from the cheap seats. It was Donald Trump himself who started dog whistling. He went full racist in this latest meme that he posted on X. Yes, he's back on X. It says, import the third world, become the third world. Import the third world, become the third world. And then you see on the left where it says your neighborhood under Trump. And then on the right, it says your neighborhood under Kamala. The side by side images, as you see, show what Trump wants you to believe will be your America if you choose him versus if you choose Kamala Harris. I don't even know if this is a dog whistle anymore. This ain't some dog whistle is supposed to be something that only certain people hear. They like, look, you'll have peace and justice and love on the left. You'll have a nice American flag, a manicured lawn, bright green colors. And on the right, you got bedlam and chaos and a bunch of niggas. That's what the subtext is. You get mad, but that's what they saying. They even have your neighborhood under Trump in red. They have your neighborhood under Kamala, not in blue, not Democrat blue. They have it in black. Think that's a coincidence, y'all? You think that's a coincidence, y'all? It is not a coincidence. They want you to believe something very specific. Donald Trump is playing to the cheap seats. And the reason he's doing it is because he is running scared. Lo siento, papá, es un gallo. Espera. Aquí está el gallo. And so Donald Trump is desperate and scared. Donald Trump wants you to believe that he's confident that Kamala doesn't have any crowds, that it's all a hoax, and that he's running away with this election. But the truth is, Donald Trump is not running away with this election. The truth is, Donald Trump is losing this election as of right now. He's lost in the national momentum. He's lost the statistical leads. He's losing in the swing states. The crowds for Kamala Harris are massive, and Donald Trump is scared. And when Donald Trump is scared, he does two things. He gets more racist, and he cries that they're cheating. Yesterday, he did the cheating thing, right? That Kamala Harris can't be trusted. She lies about her crowd size. She can lie about anything, setting you up to believe that if he does lose, it's not because more people voted for her, but because the Democrats are cheating again, which we know isn't true. But the second thing he's doing is, again, he's summoning all the white racial anxiety and fear, showing people in America that is terrifying under her. Now, look, there's things about America that's terrifying no matter who president is. As long as you have capitalism, and as long as you have people whose needs aren't being met, you're going to have harm being committed by those people. It's just a fact. Until we address the fundamental issues, we're going to have crime and violence in this country under any president. But the idea that we won't have it under Trump in substantive fashion is a lie. But the fact that it'll get so worse and become some race war under Kamala Harris is nothing but a racist dog whistle. And that's what Trump is doing because he is scared. He's like, white people, I know you're thinking about this real hard. Stop it. Vote for me. We got to close ranks around whiteness.